Rookie Minicamp is over. We're going to highlight some winners and losers from the weekend. There weren't really any losers.
Yes, there were.
Oh, wow. Okay, maybe there were. And Kyle Monangai, definitely one of the winners, joins the show as well. CHGO Bears starts right now. Welcome into the CHGO Bears Podcast. It is a new week. It is Monday. Hello, everybody. Adam Hoge alongside Mark Carman to my left, Greg Braggs Jr. to his left, and we are ready to go.
Ooh, I like that. That could be a new thing. I snap at you, you snap back. We look at you, and then the show starts, and we go right into a great Monday.
It's about time we figure out a smooth way to start the show.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Hello, how was your weekends and your
Very
Mother's
good.
Days?
Yeah, I'm building a fire pit, so I'm excited. My wife, not as much.
Specific response, but okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Uh-huh.
How big is it?
We're still figuring that out. Still in the process. Nice circle. Nice little big circle.
I thought I had a great weekend supporting the moms out there. I texted a lot of the moms that mean a lot to me. I cooked breakfast on Sunday in an elite manner, but it was a phenomenal French toast. Multiple people got flowers courtesy of me.
Wow.
I really thought that I did a great job this Mother's Day weekend, and shout out to all the moms that I didn't reach out to, the great moms like Crystal out there, Cheesy Gordita Crunch. I don't know if you're a mom, but if you are, you're a great mom. So shout out to one and all. Happy Mother's Day.
I don't know, but great sauce.
Well, shout out to Carm, who did all that and also went to Hal's Hall yesterday.
Yeah.
Along with Pat Norton. They crushed it.
That was the weirdest Hal's Hall.
I did have to call Pat this morning to find out information that Carm could not deliver to me, but we figured it out.
What did I not deliver? Talk out loud.
We did an investigation.
Oh, the Luther Burden investigation.
We had it because Luther Burden got banged up Saturday. It doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. He was back out there Sunday. But the Bears tweeted out a video of him running this sick route, and it was awesome. But, the Hoge alarm went off in my head almost immediately. I'm like, I don't think that was from today. But I wasn't there, so I couldn't. And then we did a little investigative journalism and found out that he was definitely wearing different clothes yesterday. So that highlight was from Friday or Saturday. I'm not sure which.
I shouldn't tell you this because these are the things that do make you mad, but I will tell you this. As I was intently, very focused upon Eric Bieniemy and filming him yesterday as he was teaching further lessons about how to run the football and
For the third straight day.
For the third straight day, I was enjoying him.
We need to diversify your practice portfolio.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Exactly.
You can't just be zeroed in on Tyson Bagent and Eric Bieniemy.
Well, at least we're branching out from Beijing.
Whoever
so
this
baby steps.
Whoever this 17 from Elon who was wearing 17 over the weekend, that was just completely unacceptable. But that's a side note. And then Danny Marcano, shout out Danny Marcano, mentions, all right, 1 minute to end of shooting. We'll be done after 87. And I was like, who the hell's 87? and how come Marcano doesn't know who 87? But of course Marcano knew exactly who 87 was, and that we were going to be done after that because everybody needed a video showing Luther Burden was healthy. And I did not get that video because I was focused on Eric Bieniemy. So that was a bad job by me.
Even though he was trying to help you get the video.
He literally laid it up there without, saying his name.
So
and then dunked it off the back.
Let's rescind our clap.
Terrible job.
Clap rescinded.
It was the exact thing that would drive Adam Hoge nuts. You're a reporter. The only thing that matters today is if Luther Burden is healthy and you're paying attention to Bieniemy. That's a bad job. But so it was a learning experience for me.
Well,
I needed to come in with a better focus.
But you were there and I wasn't, so I can't talk.
But you did get a great to reverse track and give you some good credit. got a great video of Eric Bieniemy over the weekend.
I got that video, but yes.
Hoge did it.
I got lots of Bieniemy this weekend, and then I put out there and had huge engagement.
Yeah, and then it chose mine. You put out the one where the running backs all fell down. Because you went full Carm.
That was great. And Hoge told me not to post it, and I was like,
I didn't say don't post it. I said put it on your personal one.
Put it on your personal, and I did. And yes, Kyle Monangai dropped the ball, big freaking deal. And then the next guy stumbled over all the cushions that I've never seen before.
I actually don't think I've seen that before.
It was amazing. But I no big deal. And I put this, did you see it?
I did.
If at first you don't succeed, try again.
Eric, we did share yes, you not getting that Burden video is the equivalent of Bieniemy getting upset about the cones being touched. Don't touch the cones.
I did learn a long time ago that if you do a video like where they throw it to the flat and there's a drop, to not share that, not because of Bears fans, but because of the rival teams in your division. If those fan bases find it,
they'll find out the Monangai can't catch.
Well, but they just spread it everywhere like wildfire.
So you don't want negative Bears.
Yeah,
I see. I hear you.
And also, none of that matters.
None of it matters. But don't give them the
I'm not going to worry about that. But I get where you're coming from. You're protecting the brand. Brand's fine.
Yeah.
And Carm Sweet Pippy, yes, I can run that drill. I think. Don't you think you can run that drill?
Not right now with your torn Achilles.
Yeah, but no.
I ran up a hill with the torn Achilles.
The other thing he was saying was get your eyes up. You can run the drill, but you would not get over those bags if your eyes are up. You'd be looking down at the bags. And
there's a great chance that I would drop a ball and trip all over all those things. But eventually I could run that drill. I wouldn't do it perfectly. It ain't easy. Yeah. I'm sure.
That's why you need practice, which is what we watched for 3 days over the weekend. And, like I said, Friday. Hopefully you enjoyed the shows, by the way. Friday, Saturday, we had some good recap shows in case you want to go back and check those out. Where we kind of broke things down. Like, it's rookie minicamp. We're not trying to make too big of a deal of it, but we do know fans want to hear what's going on, and that's why we're here for you.
How much team drills were there?
Very little.
Very little, but there was.
One of my takeaways of the weekend. There was a little bit of 7-on-7. There was no 11-on-11.
Okay.
The D-line and O-line were basically having their own little practices.
Okay.
Which is fine. But yeah, and it was short. I mean, it was like a handful of 7-on-7 reps, it felt like.
The most violence or engagement that I saw out there was with the offensive line. They were doing a decent amount of just plowing into each other with a big pad. The
most violence was when I turned around and yelled at Pat Finley and Chris Emma for not watching practice.
They were – you scarred Finley. Finley was talking about it 2 days later.
You got the
Hoge's out there screaming at the media that he's trying to take Hoge notes. Don't talk to him. This guy's complete. He's like it's the middle of May and he's acting like the Lions are coming up on Sunday. It's a big time move by you.
Well, there'll be some moment in November where there'll be one tiny nugget I pull from that one May practice.
Can you actually demo the look that you have at practice for everybody right now? He has this. You have this like coach / teacher / intense media guy look. As you got like your. Do you have your pen in your mouth? Is that what you do? You've got like a whole persona to you.
Here's my thing. I'm not. Well, this is getting off track here. No one cares about this, but
I think they do.
We get a limited amount of time in the calendar year to actually watch the players on the practice field. Yeah. I do not care about the Cubs bullpen when I'm out there on the football field. I can screw around with the best of them, okay, and get totally off track like we do on this show. But when we get an hour practice to actually watch some guys and learn some things, I'm gonna watch.
I got it. Hey, listen, I don't say much when I'm out there.
It is resting Hoge face, probably.
It's more locked in Hoge face.
It is, yeah.
It's
both.
I mean, like when we're at training camp, he has like a laminated depth chart. He's been sharing them with us.
Oh yeah, I got made fun of that.
That's not the face at camp though. That is resting Hoge face.
He's not as bored. He's engaged. Yeah. But like that was the look that he gave Pat Finley.
That's actually what started though. Pat was like, "Did you laminate your roster?" I did. Because it was windy as crap, and this doesn't blow around as much when it's laminated.
That's amazing. That is
meanwhile, Chris Evans' roster was like in a ball, like just ripped into shreds.
You laminated the new roster?
I did.
Carm Sweet Baby Braggs has a laminated Taco Bell menu.
Okay, this I do not deserve.
This guy laminated the rookie minicamp roster.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new names out there. It makes sense.
By the way, this is
you
why
didn't know who 87 was.
Yeah, the second round pick.
Trust me, if I had it laminated, it wouldn't have helped.
Well, it might have, because you might have actually had a roster in your hand.
I did have a roster in my hand. Not yesterday, but I had one earlier in the week.
Well, you lost it because it wasn't laminated. This I don't deserve to be made fun of for, because I didn't make this. All I did, thanks to the Bears, they sent this out. I printed it. I put it through the lamination machine, which, yes, I own. We've been over that. You made it. The one at training camp, I will accept some ribbing for, because that I actually typed out and made myself.
Well, I look forward to my copy.
And also,
this year.
I'm not giving any of you one this year. I'll give you one. No, Greg will get one.
Thank you.
Greg will get one.
No.
I'm
on the team. Give me your freaking lamination thing. I need it.
I'm taking requests because I have requests from Chris Emma and Courtney Cronin already for their own.
What about
I will charge them each $20.
What about our diehards that are coming out? Will you do it for them?
Sure.
There you go.
Not for you though.
That's fine. Reach out to.
But it depends who they are, because whoever a little wasted is said nerd. He doesn't get one.
A little wasted. I'll steal one for you. I appreciate.
What if he sobers up?
Gary Ross will get one.
Gary Ross deserves them.
Gary will definitely get one.
Shout out Gary.
I feel like I gave Gary one last year.
I bet you did. He's probably wanted it autographed, and you said no.
But I gave him a laminated roster. And then I signed the roster. That's what I'll do. I'll sign the rosters.
All right. We got to get back on track.
Do we really? It was rookie minicamp.
What do you have any takeaways that you didn't get out over the weekend?
Well, one is I think Luther Burden's okay. It didn't seem like they did much yesterday.
They didn't.
Maybe he was a little ginger. The fact that here's the test that we needed yesterday was that, because it was just awkward timing. It happened right at the end of practice. He may have come back later in that practice, but it was over. We didn't know. So he was back out there yesterday. That's a good sign. I would have been more worried if he wasn't out there at all, or if he was just, missing or something like that. That was one of my takeaways. Another one is, you might have seen the video we put out. Nice job by Steven, doing a great job editing it. But I think Ruben Hippolite has a legitimate chance at that Sam Linebacker job.
Well, who else is going to get it?
Well, a couple guys who have been here, and they did say nice things about Noah Sewell over the weekend. And but I think
I shouldn't say it like that. Go, Ruben. I hope he gets it. That'd be awesome for him and the Bears, hopefully.
Well, it's piecing things together, right, Greg? So Friday, Ben Johnson was like, "Well, Dennis Allen has a type,"
right?
And then they drafted a type, so that I would hope that's the type. Otherwise, you made a bad pick. So then I asked Dennis Allen about that on Saturday. He was like, "Yeah, dude, we think this guy can cover tight ends. If he has to run with the wide receiver downfield, he can, because he's got that speed." So I just found all that to be very interesting. Now, it's super early, and from his own admission, Ruben Hippolite felt like he had a bad practice Friday, was better Saturday. So these guys are all learning really fast. But I think that's something to watch, that he might go from everybody was undrafted, confused why they even picked him, to possibly having that Jack Sanborn role in this defense this year.
I think there's a few tells, too, where they go to start minicamp saying, well, you can't, the depth chart's empty. You can't jump the depth chart here in the spring. But yet, Ruben Hippolite, when they talked about him, they said, well, hey, there is going to be a competition for the Sam spot. That was also said. And you draft Ruben Hippolite in the 4th round. So as fans and media were looking at that as like, oh, that might be a reach. Well, clearly not to them. So to me, that's I think where you are starting to get ahead of the curve there, where this could be a real possibility when we get to training camp. I mean, Noah Sewell, all due respect, he's been here a few years. What has he done to earn that spot to this point?
He was also a healthy scratch towards the end of last season.
Right. So I don't see any reason why that's not going to be a full out open competition. And Noah Sewell has every right to earn it, But Ruben Hippolite is now this new regime's guy as a 4th-round pick.
I'm sure I'm not the only one that's having the thought they really needed to get rid of Jack Sanborn when their linebacker situation is what it is. That it's still confusing to me. That being said, it's impossible to draw anything from rookie minicamp as to how this is going to go. Other than the fact that when you listen to Ruben Hippolite talk, dude's humble, has the speed they're looking for. There clearly is an opportunity there, so he very well may step in there and be able to get on the field, I don't know, 20-25% of the time this year, however many snaps the Sam linebacker gets.
When we come back, we have an interview with another one of the rookies. I do want to, after that, I want to hit on something that I think we sort of touched on with the 1st-round pick that I want to circle back because I don't think it's a massive concern. I do think it's something that needs to be discussed to kind of set the table for training camp. Let's put it that way. So don't go anywhere because we got a lot more coming up, and we will hear from Kyle Monangai next here on the show. But first, whatever the moment, it is never ordinary at Bet365, just like this show. Never ordinary. You never know what's going to happen. But here's what I can tell you what will happen at Bet365. If you're a new customer, right now you get $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5. Win or lose, you get that $150 in bonus bets. To get that, all you got to do is sign up, use this code CHGO365, deposit $10, place a bet for $5, and you'll get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. And I've been telling you about this. You should keep taking advantage of it because it's going to pay off for you. NHL, basketball, and MLB right now, they got early payout offers. NHL, if your team goes up by 3 goals, instant payout. Basketball, team goes up by 20, instant payout. MLB, team goes up by 5 runs at any point in the game, you get an instant payout. That includes straight bets, parlay selections. They're all marked as winners. And again, breaking news from Bet365, new customers right now, $150 in bonus bets when you bet $5, win or lose. Sign up, use that code CHGO365, deposit 10, bet 5. You'll get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral service can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER in-app only.
And shout out to our friends at Empire Today. Listen, your team, like the Cubs coming home today, they need the home field advantage. You need the home floor advantage. Empire Today will give that to you with the flooring experts who are dedicated flooring professionals. These people focus on flooring every single day. You are getting the best of the best. Don't go to a big box store, wander the aisles endlessly. Don't do that. Let Empire Today come right to you and let you pick your floor in your space, pick the colors in your space, let them do the measurements. Those will be precise. That's what you need. Gives you that comfort. Empire Today, you're going to get clear, upfront, and all-inclusive pricing as well, so you can schedule the installation as soon as the next day. Schedule yourself a free in-home estimate today because some things, they're just better at home. CHGO listeners, you get $350 off when you use the promo code CHGO. That's right, a $350 discount with the code CHGO. Restrictions apply. Visit empiretoday.com/CHGO for full details.
All right. Crystal had a good question in the comments. Let's quickly go around the room. I think this is a good discussion real quick before we get to Kyle Monangai. Crystal wanted to know, hi, Steven. What did you do for Mom yesterday? Tell her Happy Mother's Day for me.
Well, my mom got flowers. She got this travel bag thing that she needs for a vacation she's going to. She's going to Greece in a little bit. Then we took her out to lunch, and she got a card.
Nice.
Sweet.
Okay. Greg is in the one position on the show where you have to balance the wife mom and the mom. How did you handle it?
Yeah, well, it was a nice day at the house, hanging out with Addie. We let her paint on the driveway. Mom came by here in the early afternoon. We went to dinner later that night. I was digging and reflowering and taking these plants out and replanting. It's just a lot of stuff going on, and Mom was just hanging out, doing the thing with the family. That's what we love to do.
Love when you
stuff.
replant. You're such a good.
We got the pool open. Pool is ready to go. It's supposed to be like upper 80s later in the week.
The water's about 40 degrees.
It's still pretty cold.
Are we going to go to the pool this year?
I would be slightly interested if I had a helicopter.
I mean, I think there I think there could be some good. I think there could be some good social media content.
We could do some good content. I'd go to the pool.
Can we do a live show from my pool? Is that a possibility, Steven?
It actually is, but I don't want to do it.
I want to do it.
He was like, "Yeah, we could totally do it, but no."
Briggs, you could produce that one. How about that?
Would the live YouTube listener? Would you enjoy us all going to Braggs' pool?
Remember his training camp video at like 5 a.m. with the sun barely up, and he's naked in the pool?
I can't wait for that video.
Carmen, what'd you do?
Do you do nude in your pool? Don't answer that. What did I do?
Well, you did put out a picture of young Carm.
I did put out a picture.
That was a great picture.
Oh, we already went over your Sunday. You went to Rookie Minicamp.
I went to Rookie Minicamp. I put out a picture of young Carm. My mom passed when I was young, all the way back in '87. I was 28 years old then. And so Mother's Day's hard, man, for if you lost your mom, it's just going to be hard. So I felt like I just wanted to, because I still have, I got some nice comments from people who still I said some nice Mom Day things to my cousins, and they wrote me back about my mom. And I figured they'd want to see my mom, so I put it out there. But I thought he did a great job with supporting Jackie, who's an amazing mom to Beckett and Layla, and so he did some nice stuff there too. And my dad remarried 5 years later to the amazing Adele. I went over there. I got an orchid. I wrote a nice card. I set it up. She wasn't home. I didn't get a call back on a thank you. We're gonna go back and get that thank you today. But so I thought I did a good job on the Mom's Day.
Well, shout out to all the moms in the world. Yes, it's also hard for me on the mom front. Lost my mom when I was younger too. But having an awesome wife who's an amazing mom, and celebrating her yesterday by giving her the house to herself.
And that's what Jenny wants. Yeah. So that's why we were outside working in the yard, working on the pool, so Jenny can be inside and just read a book or do whatever she's doing. Yeah. But at one point I was yelling as I normally do. I was yelling at Jenny, Mom, and Addie because they were all like yelling at each other. And I yelled, and then Addie goes, "Daddy, you're a bad kid."
That's the most
accurate thing anyone's ever said about you.
It was a great line. It was a great line.
I love that. All right, let's get to the Kyle Monangai interview, because while Carm was at Hall yesterday, he had a chance to catch up with the Bears' new 7th-round running back. Should be a 4th-round running back, but he's a 7th-round running back.
Don't worry about the size differential here.
It's noticeable, but here he is.
I mean, I'm just fat.
Kyle Monangai with Mark Carman yesterday at Hall.
Bears 7th-round draft pick, Kyle Monangai. First of all, it is Mom's Day, so you have an interesting background with your parents coming over from Cameroon. What? Let's talk about how Mom helped you get here today.
Yeah. First off, happy Mother's Day, Mom. But yeah, my parents from Cameroon, like you mentioned, came here at a young age. Had my brother, sister, and I in New Jersey, born and raised, and they just taught us to grind, the mentality of working for everything that you get. Everything's earned, not given, and that mentality, I think that she passed down to us is kind of what made us who we are.
So you did great in the classroom. You did great on the football field. You played a bunch of sports. Being excellent everywhere is not easy to do. How would you tell me about your drive that allowed you to do that?
Like I said, that grind mentality. I was always an overachiever, somebody that was always told that everything's attainable, but you got to work for it. So, like I said, classroom, like you said, sports, everything. I try to say that I'm good in everything that I try, and if I'm not good, give me a couple of days and I'll be good at it. So that's just a mentality I've always carried since a kid, and something I focus on and I bring to everything I do.
Did you have to study hard to get the grades, or you just had it? Like, could you read something and retain it?
Yeah.
I'm talking about myself here because I could not. I'm wondering, how did you get that done?
Yeah, school was kind of easy for me. I can't lie to you. School was easy to me. It just came easy. And, football was something that I just loved to do. And I loved the passion that came with it and everything about it. So that's what I just chose as a career path.
Yeah. I love guys who have been kind of counted out or just not valued right. So you were, I think, the 114th ranked running back coming into college, and you were the 21st pick, 21st running back taken. So how high is the chip on your shoulder from that? I'm assuming it's got to be there. It's got to be pretty.
I don't know if the ceiling's high enough to hold it, but yeah, I mean, it's something that, like I said, my career path in the sport has been that of kind of that underdog mentality, and like I said, it's a role that I embrace. Something I've kind of just taken on, and it doesn't bother me. Like, I haven't approved myself, and I don't concern myself with what people think of me. If I did, I don't think I'd be sitting here next to you in this position. So I just work hard every day, and I prove it to myself that I can do what I say I can do.
There's no doubt you gotta have that belief. But along with that, you want to see some results.
Of course.
So like when you put up 150 plus against Ohio State. When did you know in your mind, like, okay, I actually can do this on the highest level? There had to be like you got to have a little bit of proof. Just hard work's one thing, but like seeing it in action.
In college, I would say, I knew I started to be able to reap the benefits of my hard work probably my sophomore, junior year, because I started to understand it. It started to click for me. College at first when I got there was a kind of a culture shock. First time you're not the star of your team. The first time you're not the best player on your team. And then, it just made me to grind harder. Like, it was like, okay, I got to dig in. I got to become stronger, faster, work on the little things. And, when I got to be able to get my body right physically and my mental right to be able to play at a high level in the Big Ten, then I started to see the reward of my hard work. And I think, I can't say to a specific moment like, oh, I know I can do it, but I think over time it just happens all of a sudden if you keep chipping away at it.
Yeah. Who gets credit? I've heard of, your brother is 10 years older than you, and he got to the NFL and all that. Was he on you a lot?
I think my brother and I are real competitive. So, like, when he was in high school and college and I was playing in Pop Warner in middle school and I got to high school, we'd always, like, I'd see what he would get in the game and I'd say, okay, I got to have, like, he had 2 touchdowns, I have to have 3. It was that type of thing. So it was a friendly competition. But now I look to say I'm the best running back in the family. But,
that's exactly right. Well, you're here now, you're in the NFL.
Right. He was in the NFL too, so I can't take that away from him. He got to this level and my parents would also side with me, though, that I'm the better athlete in the family.
Shout out Mom and Dad.
Of course.
Did you have to put a lot of weight on in college to be able to compete at that level?
I think I came in from high school at about like 198, and I played my final season at like 208. So I put about 10 pounds on in college, yeah.
It sounds like it was a gradual process.
Yeah.
All right. I'm watching on the field here. EB Eric Bieniemy is, you're not going to miss that guy out there.
No, you can't miss him.
So, and how you just called him a legend when you were meeting the media. So to say more, like to have that guy, somebody who's that determined to make you as good as possibly, like in rookie minicamp, I feel like that's got to be a huge asset for you.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm excited to continue to work with him and, just absorb all the knowledge and wisdom he has at the position, someone who did it, number one himself, and then somebody who's been coaching for so many years and coached a lot of great players. So, like you saw out there, like rookie minicamp, he's on us. Like, like it's week 10 of the season or playoffs, whatever it is. So it's exciting, and I'm blessed to have him as my coach.
So I'm sure you would have loved to have been picked higher or whatever. That's not in your control and all that. But the opportunity here, not to discount anybody who's in that room, but you got to see that, hey, if you perform at a high level, you could get yourself on the field here.
Yeah, like I said in there, I think my main goal has just been to prove to the coaching staff that they made the right decision in bringing me here, number one, but prove it to myself that I can do it like I did in every other phase and level of football that I've been in prior. So my mindset's the same, never changes for any circumstance or situation. Behavior stays the same, but just working hard, coming in every day, doing my part, playing my role, and I'm excited for what the future holds.
How's Chicago treating you so far?
I haven't got to explore too much, but I love what I've seen so far.
All right, well, welcome, and appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks.
Good luck. Bears fans I put out a video that you're going to be the sleeper of the draft.
I appreciate it.
I know you don't need. You can handle the pressure.
No more pressure than I put on myself.
I got one last thing to wrap up with here. I heard you got the dance moves.
And I followed me to Chicago.
Yeah,
okay.
Well, it's out there, and some of the greats, Emmitt Smith, Jerry Rice, Walter Payton right here. They did ballet, did all the things. So, you got to have the footwork, right?
Yeah, I didn't do ballet, but yeah, absolutely.
So is this just come natural, or did you?
Yeah, it's a Jersey thing, kind of, I got to say, yeah.
Okay. Home base.
Yeah.
East Coast of the Midwest. Kyle Monangai.
Appreciate you.
So I assume going into that interview, Carmen, you were talking about the size difference. You were talking about your height compared to his, because all I know is he was filling that shirt out a little bit better than you.
Carmen was filling his shirt out.
Yeah, but in a different way. I mean, because
you know what that's all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm struggling, but yeah, no, it's very rare that you sit down with an NFL player, and normally you stand up in these videos, but I'm sitting there and I'm actually taller. It was different.
Let's check the lamination.
Yeah, how
roster.
tall is he?
Go to the laminate.
5'8", 211. That's what's on here.
Yeah.
He's 5'8", 211.
Look, dude.
He okay. I get it. He might be shorter. He looked to me out there over the weekend like he belongs. And he's got, my point is, he's definitely got some muscle on his frame and is willing to run through players like Ruben Hippolite, by the way, because there's that clip at the goal line
that
is now circulated very well.
I mean, Ruben said he was the toughest player he ever went up against, and that's kind of been my point through this whole thing. Is I'm getting a little sick and tired of everyone saying that Kyle Monangai is getting overhyped. He's not. He led the Big Ten in rushing. We're not talking about some Division II conference. Let's show the guy a little bit twice. Thank you. Let's show the guy a little respect. You know, yes, he didn't get taken until the 7th round, but to lead the Big Ten in rushing speaks volumes for any player. And Kyle Monangai, if you're not excited for him, I guess we'll just have to wait till training camp and preseason for that to change.
Yeah, so just one more thing about it.
People love the interview.
Yeah,
it was a great interview.
Appreciate that people enjoyed it. I love that guy. I'm a big fan. He's going to do everything the right way. I don't know how far he's going to get, but however far he can get, he will get there. That guy is motivated and just he's got a lot going on for him. Plus, look, he's not going to be the best running back in the NFL. He doesn't have breakaway speed, but he could be an absolute perfect complement for what they have going on.
Yes.
So, and he's skilled as a pass blocker too. So, he good job by the Bears making the best of a running back situation that did not go the way that they wanted it to go in the draft.
And Green Lantern makes a good point. You know, all due respect to, who his offensive line was around him at Rutgers, but it's not Michigan, right? It's not Iowa. It's not Ohio State. And so to lead the Big Ten in rushing twice at Rutgers, that's another half of that spectrum, too, that you have to consider.
I said this last week. I think people are going to realize that he's got a knack for picking up what's there. And I think that's something that they lacked in that running back room last year. Just picking up the yardage that's available to you. It might only be 4. It might only be 5. That's a good run. It's a productive play. And the Bears need more of that. All right, I got questions. I got a question to bring up about the first round pick when we come back.
We also have a couple cuts from Luke Newman that I want to play because I fell in love with Luke Newman, the offensive lineman, over the weekend. And Patrick Norton made himself known over the weekend, too, talking to Declan Doyle. So we got some sound that's coming up. But first, shout out to our friends at Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. They've been serving Chicagoland for over 50 years, and that's right. It's getting hot out there, and now's the time to get your air conditioning checked out. Four Seasons experts are ready to help you with the AC installation, maintenance, and repair, all the things you need. 2024, don't forget, was officially Chicago's hottest year on record. That's probably not going to change going forward. Heat Index even reached 114 degrees last summer at O'Hare. So, listen, it's going to get hot. It's going to get humid. You want to know your home will be cool and comfortable. Look, Four Seasons expert technicians, they want to come out. They're the reliable people that'll show up at night, at the weekends, on holidays. They'll be there for you. Schedule your Four Seasons AC tune-up today. You're going to save $50 and enjoy a 1-year no-breakdown guarantee. That's sweet. Also, if you want to go bigger, save up to $4,000 on the new comfort systems from Four Seasons, new AC units from new AC units from $39 a month if you want to go that route on the payment, and AC furnace combos for $57 a month. These are great deals. Plumbing, electrical, heating, or cooling emergency. Need a new hot water tank or generator? Call Four Seasons. Same-day installation. No extra charge for those nights, weekends, or holidays. Call 866-4SEASONS. Your trusted local experts are Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric.
All right, Steven, this is for you. Greg, this is for you. Carm, this is for you. Watching at home, this is all for you. I know if you play golf, the time has come to get new golf clubs. That means one thing. Head over to your local PXG store for a fitting. It's exactly what I did late last summer. They make the best golf clubs, period. Go check them out. I went, got fitted. They said, hey, stiff shaft. It's the way you got to go stiff shaft.
You do?
Yeah, Carm. No, because I got long arms. There's too much whiplash going on. I don't know if
and when you played with them in Arizona.
Smoked you guys.
Yeah. One of your best rounds that we've seen.
It was my best round of the year.
You absolutely did. I love PXG. And I'll leave it at that.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, all right. Well, it is the fastest way to improve your performance on the golf course. It's a PXG fitting. The fitters there are highly trained, incredibly experienced. They have a deep understanding of how to optimize your clubs to get the most out of your swing. That's for real. That's what they did with me. Plus, they're fun. Just get to, if nothing else, just go whack a bunch of golf balls.
Yeah.
Schedule your fitting today, and for a limited time, you could save up to 20% off your entire order. That's right, 20% off new set of golf clubs. That's
good
a big
value.
deal. Head over to pxg.com/CHGO. Again, pxg.com/CHGO. That's how you can help support the show at the same time by using that link. Save up to 20% off your entire order. pxg.com/CHGO. Restrictions apply. See site for details. And
now's the time.
Merch.
Now's the time.
I should have mentioned this earlier in the show. It's a bad job by me, so I'm mentioning it now. Spring cleaning clearance event.
75% off.
Up to 75% off.
30% off the entire store.
Yeah.
Come on.
Unless you're an employee. Well, then you actually is 30%, yeah.
Don't worry about us. What's about them?
This is an inside
Less than
joke.
Greg Bragg.
But seriously, I mean,
it's
it's a spring cleaning clearance sale for some of the best designs we have. I mean, come on now.
Get the
on
Pope
it.
shirt.
Well, that's not on there. You goof.
Don't get the Pope shirt. The Pope shirt's not on there? It said the whole entire store.
Oh, the entire store. All right, I'm sorry. I thought it was just those.
Pay attention to the promo.
We do have a new Pope shirt.
Got a new Pope shirt.
Got a new Pope shirt.
Big sale going on all our merch, though. And obviously, if you're a diehard, you're always getting 20% off anyway. So that's a huge reason to be a diehard. And another reason to become a diehard, I'm going to tell you about here in a second. But
by the way, just one more thing. If you haven't bought our merch before, the shirts, they're soft. They're awesome. You'll be happy you got them.
Yeah.
They're really good stuff.
we're all wearing them right now.
We are. This feels so good. To franchise. Shout out Caleb. Let's go. To Pope. To Caleb.
You shouldn't be allowed to wear that shirt.
You will not make rules on what I'm allowed to wear. I support Caleb in a great way. I just have a lot of love for the backup
we should put a little tape where it says 7 there, even though it won't make any sense then.
It makes sense to Carm.
We should listen. We need to lean into creating a Bajan shirt, and that thing's going to sell like wildfire.
Should.
Spread like wildfire. Sell like hotcakes.
Pat Norton's going to PXG.
All right, Pat Norton. Should we play Pat Norton?
We can play Pat Norton here.
Let's play Pat Norton.
You set this up because this is you.
So Pat, he was out there all weekend with me and Hoge on Friday and Saturday, and Declan Doyle had a lengthy presser. Informative presser is probably a better way to say it. And Pat got in there with a couple of questions for Declan, and I thought we should honor Patrick Norton. These are the first questions that Patrick Norton has asked in a press conference. I believe Hoge gave him a little bit of a get in there, and our guy just, bang, right there, boom, Declan Doyle. I don't think I had any questions for Declan Doyle.
Okay.
I think you sat back and didn't ask anything to Declan Doyle.
I got one in there.
You got one in there. But here we go. Here was Pat on the scene. A little bit of extra content for you from the OC over the weekend.
Academy and his experience in your time here?
There's a lot. I mean, he is he's very experienced. He's a guy that's been to the mountaintop. He knows what it looks like. Obviously he's going to have an impact on that running back group. He'll have an impact on our whole offensive staff. But he has a lot of experience in a number of different areas of scheme that have been really helpful for all of us as we've kind of gone through this.
Is he as fiery in the room as he is on the field?
At times, I would say that I've really enjoyed working with him thus far, but absolutely he's very passionate, and obviously you guys stand over there by the running backs and you get to see that firsthand.
There we go.
By the way, Pat Norton, outstanding written work too over the weekend. All of his recaps from his notebooks from all 3 days of rookie minicamp are available right now. ALLCITY.com.
Good stuff, man. And I love his newsletter every morning. It clues me into everything that's going on all around Chicago, stuff that I perhaps have missed. It's good stuff. Really good stuff.
Did you want to play Luke Newman too?
Yeah, I do. So Luke Newman, if you recall, his draft video, he was in the forest in his backyard and looked like he hadn't showered in like 3 days and was just rolling with his family, which I thought was awesome. And then he showed up on Sunday, and other Bears did this too, but he just walked in the media room, no shoes on, just got the headband going. He's just chilling. And he's entertaining, and he's making a whole lot of sense. So this is my new favorite Bear, or at least he's in the top 10. Luke Newman, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, Luke, let's start here. Where are you playing this weekend? This was interesting.
Yeah, so since I got here, majority focus has been at left guard, but obviously that versatility was a huge reason why I was drafted, why I'm here, and I look forward to working the other spots, right guard and center as well. I think working the interior three will kind of be my main focus going forward. Have the tackle background, but obviously working the interior three is going to be a major focus, and we'll just work more of the others as the summer and spring go along.
So they started him off at left guard, but he's literally played everywhere, but knows the interior is what's up. So, by the way, how are you getting yourself ready to be that versatile? Let's hear that part.
So, obviously guard has been, more of my natural field this past season, but, really this offseason, the primary focus has been center. I definitely have a good understanding of how to play the position intellectually. Obviously, it's a new playbook here, and there's an adjustment period for that as well. But I really think that center, all in all, fits, more of my body type, fits kind of more of, what my strengths are. And obviously I have that guard, flexibility as well. But I really look forward to, learning and adapting to center a lot more.
Dude, this could be a worthwhile piece, Gregory. He's got, first of all, you could just tell, I think, from that video, he's big, dude. His shoulders, he's got the size. And the Bears need a versatile guy on the interior who's cheap, and that would be Luke Newman. I don't want to go too far here from rookie minicamp and a couple of press conferences where he's extremely likable, but I like the path that they have this guy on right now.
Well, again, another Big Ten guy that gets added to the room. I like their depth on the interior, obviously with Joe Thuney and Dahlman and Jonah Jackson as your starters, but you bring back Doug Kramer. Everybody remembers the fumble, but that's not his primary job. Ricky Stromberg, somebody they just threw a line in the water in, who had promise when he originally came into the league as a center. They bring back Bill Murray, much to the chagrin of our guy here, but they were high on him coming out of training camp.
Reps with the ones at one point in training camp.
He was
when Tevin Jenkins walked off.
And obviously, we all know the affinity that Ryan Poles has for Ryan Bates. He's still here, so
not for long.
Well, I'm just saying, I like the depth that this team has. I know we talk so much about what they're going to do at left tackle, but overall the depth is encouraging so far.
Yeah, I think it's way better than last year. There's no question about it. And if Luke Newman, look, the definition of Luke Newman hitting, I guess the best case scenario is he becomes a starter at some point. But you have starters there now. You need a guy who can be your backup center and also play guard when you need him to. And I think he's got the opportunity, as somebody who played a lot of tackle in college, to continuing to kick in. He seems to have an understanding that maybe his most ideal position in the NFL, based on body size and composition, would be center. So, like what I've seen there. Now, I want to switch to, speaking of size, I want to go back to Colston Loveland for a second.
Not great size.
And I want to preface this whole thing by saying I am not concerned about this long term. Where I do think it's a conversation, and I guarantee it's a conversation right now with him and the coaches and what they can get out of him right now. Reminder, Colston Loveland not practicing over the weekend because he has off-season shoulder surgery. At the time they drafted him, he was about halfway through that recovery, which is expected to take him basically to the start of training camp. The goal is that he will be good to go for training camp. We'll see if that happens or not. But one of the encouraging signs over the weekend was that he said when Caleb Williams and the receivers and everybody tried to get together during the downtime of July, that the plan right now is for him to participate in that. Run routes, catch the ball, and they're not going to be doing any crazy physical activity that could really impact your shoulder, like having a block, things like that. But body composition-wise, he's a little on the lean side, and he hasn't been able to lift weights really since the surgery in the offseason. So what I am wondering legitimately is, does that set him back at all in camp? Does it limit at all what they can ask him to do as a rookie, which is already a hard position to jump in and learn at tight end as a rookie? I have no doubt in my mind, based on looking at him, that he'll be able to go out and run some nice routes and catch the ball. That is not at all my concern. But in order to play the amount of reps that you want your number one tight end to play, you got to be able to block. And that's what I'm wondering about. Him coming back from the shoulder, how much does that limit him? How much is he just limited to begin with? But then the fact that he's kind of lean to begin with, he's going to have to put on some weight. We know this. It's just going to take some time. I just think that needs to be pointed out.
Look, this is a big swing by Ryan Poles. Let's just call it what it is. Most people had Tyler Warren ranked ahead of Loveland. Now, I know that Loveland was making a big charge up the board here, and people were interested in Loveland. I'm not saying it was a massive difference, but more people had Warren ranked ahead. The Bears took what you could also be considered a luxury pick when you've got needs at edge, and there was one sitting right there for him. The Bears chose a tight end to pair in Ben Johnson's offense, who was coming off a shoulder surgery, who is right now, not saying that he can't bulk up because I'm sure he will, but right now he's undersized, he's thin, and you took him over a tight end that more people thought would have drafted ahead of him. So I'm not saying it's going to be that they're wrong, because who the hell knows at this point, but it is a pretty big swing.
How great of a blocker was Greg Olsen when he was with the Bears?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
With the team?
Even just overall. Like, how much do you really remember him being like a great blocker?
Okay, well, if your point, to be honest, off the top of my head, I don't really exactly remember. But he was definitely more of a pass catching tight end first, which is why they moved on from him when they did, which was obviously a bad move, but it's because they wanted bigger, more blocking type tight ends.
They needed Brandon Manu Maleuna.
You always need Brandon Manu Maleuna. But look, you don't draft tight ends in the top 10 to block.
Right.
Good point.
So
he's not here for his blocking, but he's got to be a capable blocker.
And speaking,
I'm not right. I'm not, again, going back to what I said, I'm not worried long term. I'm questioning how ready he's going to be by week 1,
right?
Which I think is fair.
Yeah. And speaking of Greg Olsen, he was on with Steve Smith, and he called Colston Loveland the modern day tight end. Said his talent is like George Kittle and Travis Kelce and elite tight ends of the league. That's from Greg Olsen on the 89 with Steve Smith.
I wonder if he'd be able to go to tight end U.
Listen, they
do that in the summer. Cole usually goes to it.
How are we gonna finish that thought?
No, Greg's just one of the best analysts in the country, calling games. Obviously, he had that connection here in Chicago. We all loved what he did here in Chicago. The last touchdown, the last time the Bears won a playoff game in Chicago, Greg Olsen was the recipient of touchdown right up the seam. And that's the kind of job that I think they're going to be asking Colston Loveland to do. But, I mean, to your point about how ready will he be for NFL physicality week 1, is it really going to hit him like a ton of bricks even if, health-wise he is ready. It's, not being able to work out all summer, work that upper body out as much, obviously is going to be a concern.
I actually like Pizzatola's comment here. Komet will probably get more snaps until Loveland gets into full football shape. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But that's what I like about this team here and the depth they've built. The rookies that they've brought in, none of them are being asked to carry a heavy lift here. We're starting to get to a point where they are now having a healthy environment for these players to develop. You have Cole Kmet in front of Colston Loveland. You have DJ Moore in front of Luther Burden. You have Ozzie Trapillo who can sit back and watch what Joe Tooney and Darnell Wright and even Braxton Jones and guys that have been here and done that. Shamar Turner can watch how Andrew Billings goes out and goes about his business. Kyle Monangai can sit there and look at Eric Bieniemy and DeAndre Swift. So that's where I think the Bears are starting to elevate, is with their depth and an opportunity for rookies and young players to develop properly.
So, and by the way, we got over 1,200 people watching the show right now. Please hit that like button. Love and appreciate the support. One more hardcore football thing before we have a little bit of fun here at the end of the show.
Fishbane's on fire, by the way. I've seen every comment. His last one, is it worth looking at why Loveland only had 3 catches against Northwestern?
That's a great point.
Is Northwestern on the come up from that? Think about that.
Cats are going to have a huge year this year, but back to you, Hoge. I digress. Sorry.
Well, he also, I don't know if he saw the beginning of the show when you claimed that you could do the running back drills, but Kevin did. He was wondering earlier in the show if we've pitched having Eric Bieniemy put you through the running back drills.
I mean, we haven't, but we should, and I'd love to. And I think
I'd love to see that too.
Yeah,
very much so.
And I did make a request, I think, on Saturday's show for Eric Bieniemy to follow me around for the rest of my life so I can actually hit my potential, because I could really use that guy. I don't know if he has more time in his day, but and I don't really have the money to pay him. But if he'd like to do that as a charity type of situation, I'd be in.
Now that would be a funny bit if we had him following you around for an entire day, just like every little thing.
You would have screamed at me today to not park where I'm not supposed to park.
Oh boy!
Yeah, we had a little bit of a controversy this morning.
You got punked out.
You got pankoed is what he got.
I shouldn't have brought that up. Don't worry about it. Eric Bieniemy, if you're available, I'm around. That guy, yeah. All right, Hoge.
All right.
Enough with Fishbane.
So, speaking of Fishbane, this is something I kind of stole from him. Roster tiers. Aiming for Wednesday. Now, this has been a big project I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Spreadsheets, full nerdery, the whole deal. Actually got a hold of an actual NFL grading scale that I sort of tweaked in my own Hoge way. But I actually have a question for you guys, and and the listeners included, because I could theoretically rank all 90 players on the roster, but I'm afraid of being yelled at by mostly Greg.
You want to rank all 90 players?
I could.
Why would I
have to?
Why would I yell? Why would I yell at you?
I don't know.
He would be the one to yell at you.
Why is Cairo Santos ranked higher than Luther Burden or something?
Well, we'll see. Maybe I will yell at you. Just because you said it like that, now I will yell at you.
Is this an exercise you want to do?
Well, I'm already kind of doing it as I write this thing out because there's an order to it.
Let me tell you something. You want to rank all 90 players on the Bears and make that one of the
Define your tier. Just start at the top. Define your tiers.
Yeah. So we got the blue tier,
which is
anywhere from being the best player in the league. So the Bears don't have any of those guys. That guy exists as Patrick Mahomes. They could have had him.
Best players in the league.
No. So anywhere from you're actually the best player in the league to like your top 5 quarterback, top 9 non-quarterback in the league would also be a blue player, or you're just considered among the best you're the best at your position in the league or among the best. Kind of a range there. They all get scored a little bit differently, but that's the blue tier.
So Bajan would be a blue tier backup QB?
This is why I don't want to do this.
I mean, everybody in the chat wants to know where you're putting Bagent, clearly. Look at Donnie, my guy.
So I'd have 2 blue players, but go ahead.
That's okay. That's what I have. I'm not afraid to give that away. By the way, this will be a CHGO diehard piece. The entire thing will be out hopefully Wednesday. We are going to do a little bit of a discussion on some of the points during the week and maybe a little bit later on in the week. But yeah, you have the easiest way I could simplify it. Your top tier players, your starters you win because of, your starters you win with, and then you ideally in a perfect world are not starting any players below there. A good NFL team would have all their starters above that line, okay, on offense and defense.
Okay.
Below that, you got your developmental players, your backup special teamers, some of those special teamers that are like blue special teamers, but they're not on offense or defense, so they don't carry as much value. And then you have your roster fillers, too, at the bottom. It's been a fun exercise.
Do you have colors assigned to each of these tiers?
Yes.
Okay.
But you'll have to read it.
Okay.
I don't know if we're going to be able to incorporate that. Actually, yeah. Steven, I'm going to put you to work this week. Sorry.
He just started crying.
He basically did. Yeah.
I mean, I think that, the chat wants it. Bo Chanton is very excited about it. Yes, he wants it to underline the depth. I think you should, at this point, it's a required Hoge activity for this week. You got to get in there and lead us to the promised land.
Well, Tyson Bagent, I'll give you this one away too. He is at the top end of the backup special teamer category. And obviously he's not a special teamer, but that means he has purple physical or intangible traits, which would make him a solid starter. So he has those traits. I think that's a fair way to assess
all of us at Bagent Land have no problem with that right now.
Good. I don't know about all of you.
You're at Bagent Land.
I am.
You're the mayor.
He's actually moving there this summer.
You're the mayor of Bagent Land.
I'm planning a trip, and I'm looking forward to it. And you guys are invited, but you don't have to come.
To Bagent Land. Okay.
We're going to Bagent Land.
When?
Kind of like middle of June.
Okay, so people do want me to rank or not rank?
They do.
Okay.
Yes.
Take input.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot of little tidbits and shout outs
snidbits
on snidbits and all kinds of things. The biggest snidbit is that the Bears will not be playing the opener against the Philadelphia Eagles. The announcement was made this morning that the opening game it'll be an all-city matchup. It'll be an all-city clash, but it's the Dallas Cowboys at the Philadelphia Eagles on September 4th, which is 115 days away, which I know Carm is counting down on his calendar.
I am. For real. Let's go.
And how many days until camp?
Nabagaman? Well,
yes.
Nibagay, man, according to Greg Braggs. It's Nabagaman.
It's hard to pronounce.
Family camp this year, Hoge, is, I believe, August 14th to the 20th.
Okay, I don't need it.
So, however many days that is.
Does that mean we're coming? Or your family?
I'd love you to come. That'd be great. I think we should do the show from up there with me and you should actually go. Hoge can be a training camp.
Me and Hoge will go only if Fishbane goes too.
Fishbane is invited. He'd be great at camp. Shout out camp. Okay. Send your kids to camp. Camp is good.
Ben Johnson's birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday, Ben Johnson.
Ben, I apologize. I don't have the harmonica with me today, so you're not going to get a tune, but
a toot
or a toot
or a toot. But I really, really, really wish you a happy birthday.
Okay. Michael Jordan is apparently back. He's going to be a special contributor to NBC's coverage of the NBA. I'm just happy in general that the NBA is going back to NBC. Did you see they're going to do AI-generated voicing to combine with the old school music?
I did. And MJ being back is the greatest thing ever.
What does that mean, though? He's going to be on, 3 shows, and they get to claim him?
I decided I wanted to contribute to NBC.
And this is a big deal that Michael Jordan is back. It's great. I'm very curious to see how they bring him into this, but NBA on NBC is back, and Michael Jordan is going to be a part of it. That's
MJ, real quick, will you please tell people to become a diehard?
I really would appreciate if you became a diehard. These guys have been distributing elite levels of conversation that allows you to converse amongst yourselves while you digest the information that is informative and even perhaps inquisitive, depending on the iteration.
He did not talk like this.
I know. I don't get it at all.
I literally just rewatched. I rewatched The Last Dance, and at no point did he talk like that.
At no point.
You didn't pay close enough attention then, because you certainly could perceive the perception quite naturally. Frankly, if you concern yourself. But you were in your own world. Shockingly.
Oh, man. Was I ever. The Jordan days.
Those are good days.
What a great world it was.
Well, you know what was a great one was his Nas. If you asked him anything, Michael, are you tired tonight? No.
One thing I knew, but not the kind of thing you think about, but that all 6 of the Bulls championships were on NBC.
It's true.
So feels like a good homecoming.
We're back.
I'll tell you one thing. For us old hats out there, CBS was better. The intro was better. The CBS intro was unbelievable.
And hopefully this is like good.
It was better.
Hopefully this is good Bulls vibes heading into tonight for the NBA draft lottery, where the Bulls have a 1.7% chance of getting the number 1 pick.
We got that.
Hey, we once got Derrick Rose for the same kind of odds, so you're telling me there's a chance.
I'm going to get sick, though. Philly gets it.
And a reminder, you could watch that draft lottery coverage right here on CHGO Bulls at 6 p.m. tonight.
That's right.
And hopefully it's way less confusing than the NHL lottery was.
It will be less confusing because they've been doing it the same way for years.
All right. What other shout-outs you got here, Carman?
2 more. Number 1, tonight is the opening night of softball. Shout out to our friends at the store, making it all possible for us. Storefm.com, by the way, is their website. 2002 North Hallstead. Go in there.
It's a great place.
It's a phenomenal place. Kevin, Naked Man, who I believe is on vacation right now, is available for you, though, often over there. A great late night spot, by the way, if you're going late night situation. They're open till 4 a.m. You'll have 4 a.m. bars, 5 on the weekends, Saturday night. They open at noon. Stay till 5. Go all day.
As someone who no longer stays up that late, but grew up in that area and used to do stuff like that, I can endorse that.
Yeah,
it's a good late night spot.
Yeah. Shout out the store. Thank you for sponsoring us, and shout out to the incoming three-peat, because we are the best team, and no one can compete with us. And I'm trying to go for manager of the year for the 3rd straight year. Tonight we're short 1 player, so I'm in the DH role. So if anybody would like to hit us up in the diehard Discord channel, wants to come out tonight, 7 o'clock, first pitch. Thank you very much.
Week 1, and he can't find guys. Week 1.
We'll play with 9. Thought I might DH. Steven?
No, I'm not coming. I'm going to be here all day. I actually have a shout-out, though.
Oh, good.
Nick from Lifetime yesterday. I was in the sauna, told me he was watching our show earlier during his workout. He actually met you before, Carman, at that National Sports Card Collectors Convention.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
He has his own business, does sports card collecting and selling, and he told me the most expensive Caleb Williams card to this date has sold for $122,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
so a buddy of mine, his kid actually pulled some rare Caleb card. I don't think it's worth that much, but it was like a big deal. Like I think it's worth over $1,000 or something. I don't understand card collecting at all. I'd love to learn more about it, but yeah, it's confusing me. But all right, what other nonsense you got here, Carman?
Not nonsense. I was at dinner on Friday, and my guy Johnny Angel out at Bonta in the Lincolnshire area came over and said hello.
Is it the big guy?
No, No, this was a normal-sized individual with his wife
the
and
big
his
guy
kid.
who owns that place. I see him at Lifetime.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, Johnny's the man. Said hello. Appreciated it. Shout out to you, Hoge.
Oh.
And to Danny Marcano, who's rocking and rolling, helped us with the Kyle Monangai interview. Bears PR. Everybody thought his name was Marquino. Hoge went there and somehow got that done. Found out that it was Marcano. I actually had to go and confirm that yesterday because I wasn't sure that you were right. Should have trusted you. But now everybody knows.
It would have been great if I was wrong about that.
Well, you should have been because Marquino sounds cooler. So I feel like he's kind of made a mistake here where everybody already was calling him Marquino and then he switches back. And to me, I would have stuck with Marquino. It just has a better
upgrade.
Yeah.
But Marcano is more like that's just bang, solid. I'm a Marcano. I'm not trying. He's not looking for the extra spotlight. He's just going about his business. Marcano. Me and you would go Marquino because we're we don't self-validate and we need the outside
bold
attention.
Strategy by you. I would have said it's the greatest sounding name of all time.
No. Marquino, way cooler. Just think about it.
I like Marcano.
Well, he was also part of the conversation, by the way, where I was, basically saying that those of us who watch practice should have our own special area.
Which that area would be for you and you only.
By the way, that area at training camp is where Greg and Gary Ross sit. Because they're watching practice closer than...
Nah, Gary does a lot of talking.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Where is Gary?
Gary's Gary's busy, and Gary's thinking about us, and we're thinking about Gary. Gary's great.
Tell Marcano I'd be happy to attend OTAs.
Anyway, good luck. With all this Pope stuff, shout out Pope Bob.
No.
Still a Sox fan?
No.
Have you ever seen the movie Conclave?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it last night. I had never watched it until...
It's slow.
It is. So
I liked...
My takeaway from it was if I had watched this movie when it came out, I would have thought it was boring. But in the context of everything that's happened in the last week, I'm like, oh, this is super interesting. Because now I actually wanted to know what all this is like.
Yeah, I thought how they laid out how the process works was... I liked that part of the movie, but it drags. It's a slow movie to me. It's too slow.
That's fair. That seems fair. I'm confused, though. The whole thing's such a secret. How do they know how it works?
Right.
I don't know. You know what? Us fair weather Catholics, we're having our moment, okay?
Hey.
Right, I said fair weather Catholic. Yeah. I'm back.
I'm not. Sox fan.
Listen.
I mean, it's a real question of judgment of care, come on, like you're a Sox fan.
Why?
I don't know.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about the Pope.
Why are you not talking about me?
I'm questioning.
And I grew up on the north side.
That's fine.
He at least has an excuse.
Questioning his decision making. If you're the Pope, you got to be a good decision maker.
No, you have to have a lot of faith and believe.
Has he come out yet and actually said he's a Bears fan? I'm assuming he is, but at some point he's got to say so. These are the questions that need to be asked.
Well, that would be a curveball if all of a sudden he came out and he's like, I'm a Packer fan.
Then it's over. Forget this guy.
Well, that's why I said fair weather.
Right. But he's not. He's a Bears fan. I feel it.
Shout out to Crystal, just moving this one along. $10 super chat on the way out here. Pizzy, I can't have you sending Carm slander. That's right, Pizzy. You settle down. Hashtag Team Carm. Hashtag 3Pete. Hoge, I need roster, please. Love you guys.
I got you, Crystal.
Great coverage over the weekend. Love you guys. Crystal is in the lineup tonight, catching and batting 10th, as she is our absolute leader. And again, hit me up in the Die Hard area if you want to come on out tonight and be in the lineup.
Hit you up in the Die Hard area?
Yeah, in the Die Hard, in the Discord. Or Die Hard Discord. If you want to play, I asked last week, most people are like, if you want to fly me in from Alabama, and that's not in my budget, unfortunately. But locally...
If you fly me in from Vernon Hills, I'll show up.
Not in the budget either. My favorite thing actually here at CHGO is when I put in the softball chat who wants to play tonight, and the amount of excuses that come in from just every corner. I've got to get my hair done. I've got this. I've got that.
Where'd you put it? In Hangout?
There's the CHGO softball channel, Greg.
Oh, I'm not in that one.
Well,
You're lucky.
well, you will be added effective now.
And then meanwhile, I was like, Carm, why don't you tell everybody what time the game is?
Right. Hoge hasn't played any time. He's complaining about how I run the channel. We got
By telling your players when the game is.
We got NBA lottery. We've got Cubs game tonight. We've got friend in town. I got work. We got everything in here. Can't make it, but might be able to make it.
I just joined the channel.
Thank you so much.
I can't make it.
Somehow we just keep trucking along. I nominate myself for MVP manager. Damn it.
Okay.
Well, you are a champ.
Let's get to super chats and get out of here. Josh, $5. Will Braggs be in the stands for the Cubs game on Wednesday? Flying in from Minnesota with my wife. First time back to Wrigley since Sosa was still playing.
Oh, Josh, I wish I could join you, but we have a scheduled release show that's going to be going down Wednesday night.
Special show Wednesday, 7 p.m. Schedule comes out. We're going to break down the whole thing for you live right here.
We may run over to Wrigley Field after our scheduled release show. 1% chance. 1%.
There is a more than 1% chance I will be at the 120 Club on Friday.
Hoge just got himself a premium ticket.
I did?
I think you did. Didn't you?
No. I didn't. That's not how I read that conversation.
No.
But I don't.
I put in the word.
You did. Thank you.
Gotcha.
I'm coming out there too on Friday to be with the people. Damn it.
Pope Bob will be there too.
Why don't you just be his assistant for the day?
No, Pope Bob is my assistant. I'm supposed to be his assistant?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Whatever else he does.
I'm offering great services coming up on Friday outside of Wrigley, and I will be making lots of friends.
That sounds like you're getting arrested. That's what that sounds like.
Haven't been arrested by the police outside of stadium since 1993.
It's been a good run.
I'm on a roll.
Okay. Kyle Smith says for $5, it's the nerds that keep track of the stats that we find important down the road. So thank you for being a nerd. That's right.
Cap.
Nerds.
You are a great nerd.
Thank you. It's the nicest thing you've ever said. Pizzatola at $5. Hoge blue, Steven and Braggs purple, Carm's practice squad. Maybe he'll get picked up by a high school team. They need a 60-year-old water boy.
Your thoughts?
That's funny. It was my guilty pleasure this past winter going to high school sporting events. So maybe I should get a role on a bench somewhere as like the seventh assistant coach next basketball season. But then you got to go to practice. You don't just get to show up at the games, right?
No, yeah, it's a huge time commitment.
Yeah, I don't think that's I don't see that in my future.
I don't either. All right, great show. We'll be back tomorrow noon. Again, Wednesday special show at night for the schedule release.
I'm missing Grace Carman's championship soccer game in the city for you guys. I want everybody to know that. Thank you. Okay, Carm, you have a job to do. It's more important than your niece's soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
Carm just had a conversation with himself there, if you're wondering what just happened. AllCHGO.com is where you go to find our locker full of merch, up to 75% off, 30% off the entire store.
Wrong website. Store.allcitynetwork.com.
I know. You can go to AllCHGO.com too and find it.
Oh, can you?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I didn't know that. All right. Either one.
The direct link is store.allcitynetwork.com. But if you go to our website, it's up there on the locker or the thing and the merch and it's not that hard. Carm could figure it out.
Look, the merch is great. The discount is phenomenal this week. If you're looking for something for yourself or for your Bears loving, CHGO loving family and friends, great week to do it.
Talk to you tomorrow. Noon. See you later.
Carm Sweet Pippi, you're the man.
We all silly like the mayor.